What is going on, Natties? Welcome back to episode 3 of the Natty Physique Pod. For the first time ever, we are joined by a special guest, Don Lamb. So, before we get into today's main subject of this podcast, Don, why don't you introduce yourself quickly to everyone watching? Maybe give us a brief history of your history with competing, why you got into competing, all that good stuff. Just let us know who you are.
All right, what's up, guys? So, yeah, my name is Don. I been competing since basically 2013. So I got into competing in men's physique just because I saw it as, a new upcoming division back in the day where Steve Cook was kind of like the king of men's physique, and that really got me inspired into wanting to get on stage for myself. I think prior to men's physique, I didn't ever think that was a possibility. Just, like our only option being bodybuilding at the time. And I was like, no, that's definitely, I'm never going to get to that point with my physique. So yeah, just until men's physique was introduced, that's when I started getting interested in stepping on stage. So I did my first show in 2014. I think from that time, I've ended up competing 10 times since then. I've kind of lost track. I also own a fitness coaching company called DIY Body. We've been in business since 2017, and that's when I started doing full-time online coaching. I also have nine other coaches that work for DIY Body. And I would say our clientele is about 50-50 lifestyle and contest prep. My main clientele is contest prep. That's kind of what I'm passionate about coaching. So I really just, try to stick with that. And more specifically, men's physique is definitely my go-to. But yeah, been watching men's physique ever since it came out. Um, really like that direction that it's gone in the past few years. I always thought, Ryan Terry did have, like the men's physique silhouette and also just everything else that he brings to the division, just with, like great symmetry, conditioning, not overly large. And I think, a few years ago, it was definitely trending in the wrong direction, and then they came in with the weight cap rules, and I think that's definitely helped out.
Love that, man. Yeah, and it's crazy because you've seen men's physique evolve from 2013 till now. And as
Yeah.
you said, the criteria shifted, things are changing, where we've seen the bigger stages, now we're seeing more streamlined. What would you say is the biggest difference between then and now in terms of the division? I know it's very general, but
Yeah. So I even think when Jeremy was, running it back four times I think it was four times in a row.
Mhm.
I've always been a fan of Jeremy's physique. I think with his small waist, his, full chest, strong V taper, he's always had a great physique for men's physique. Even Brandon Hendrickson like loved his physique too. Um, but there was a point where, you would start seeing guys do men's physique that looked super muscular. And on the, they could also probably compete in classic physique. They were just wearing board shorts at the time. And this is kind of where you started seeing like the transition between like the bigger, looser, longer board shorts, and then all of a sudden, like these guys' board shorts are just skin tight. And I don't think like they were making shorts um more fitted back then. It was just that these guys were just getting way too big. Even though they say men's physique guys don't train legs, like these guys were like maxing out the shorts. And to me at the time where I would see like the shorts too tight, I thought it looked really funny and odd. Um, but I think over the past 3 to 4 years, that look has started becoming a little bit more mainstream. And now it's kind of weird to see guys wearing bigger, looser board shorts.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I think like just over the past few years, they're looking for guys that are not overly muscular, great symmetry, balance top to bottom, um, like well proportions throughout the entire physique, like no like major weaknesses, no super strong points either. I think just like overall a great package that comes down to um your stage presence, posing, um overall structure, conditioning, and muscularity.
Yeah, I think now it's kind of coming down to more overall structure, that more overall aesthetic look, balance, all of that stuff. Whereas when they first started the division, they were definitely leaning towards that beach body and heavily focused on abs. And then, like you
Yeah.
mentioned, there was a few years there where that kind of went out the window and people were just getting too big and it was kind of turning into classic physique, let's be honest.
Mhm.
But then they introduced that weight cap, and I think they're kind of going back to those early on roots where now even
Yeah.
abs are way more important than they were just a few years ago. So they're kind of going back to that mainstream beach body look, even though it's a lot more muscle still now than it was when it first started. But now it's still more mainstream, that more overall aesthetic balance and structure.
I love that. I agree with you both. And that's why I actually have two questions. Number one is, what is men's physique? Like when someone tells you define a men's physique athlete, what is that? What are they looking for? Number one. And number two is in terms of all the variables you mentioned, structure, balance, conditioning, proportions, how would you rank them in terms of what's most important to least important?
I would rank structure as number one. Like if you have a small waist, that's going to help you tremendously already. Um, Structure is like very genetic based as well.
Hmm.
I think if you come into this with a great structure, like you can add on mass to your frame. But I think like when we're talking about like the best of the best, like having the right structure is number one in my eyes.
Yeah.
Um, I would also probably put conditioning up there too. Um, Number three would be overall balance. So top to bottom, where the upper body matches the size of the lower body, um, and also symmetry. Balance and symmetry are kind of like the same in my eyes. They're very similar.
Okay.
Um,
When you say symmetry, I know what it means, but what do you mean when you say symmetry? Like we're looking at no like deficiencies, like one delt is huge, bigger than the other, one lat is smaller.
exactly.
Is that it? Or
Exactly. And also like having the abs
mm,
be very symmetrical. Like instead of being offset, like I think having, like that trip, like the textbook six pack where, each block is kind of like in the same line.
yeah, not
Um,
only short.
Left side and right side are the same size. Just minimizing as many um off, I don't know, off size as
Imbalances.
possible. Yeah,
Yeah.
Mm, okay, I would definitely agree with that too. Yeah, the structure is like supreme because and that's just what we're born with, right? It's like we have our structure, we can't change it. We can manipulate it by adding tissue on our frame and with our programming and factors that we can control, things like that. But as you said, structure, definitely conditioning too, and then overall balance and symmetry. And speaking on conditioning, I am very impressed by the standards of natural conditioning across all bodybuilding divisions, but especially in men's physique. And I'm curious to hear your thoughts on that as well, Don and Luke. Luke and I have talked about this a ton, but even just this year at the Natural Canada Pro Qualifier, I've never seen natural conditioning like that in my life. And I
I've
want to hear what your thoughts are on that.
Yes, sir.
Sorry.
I've about the Toronto Natural Pro Qualifier. I've never seen natural men's physique athletes, not even just that condition, but that dry.
Yeah.
So Don, I want to ask you because what's your opinion? Is there a limit of how conditioned these men's physique athletes should be? Is there like a limit of how far you can take it, or should you just get as conditioned as possible because it's actually leveling up every single year, seems like.
That's true.
I think in general, natural guys come in more conditioned than enhanced guys.
Yeah.
And I think because that's something that that's kind of in our control. Um, with enhancements, I think guys don't play the conditioning game as much just because they might use enhancements more so for like building muscle and having that fullness. Also with getting and burning fat, but I think because natural guys like that's one thing that we can really control. We kind of like take pride in it. Um, with men's physique conditioning, I don't ever think it's going to be more conditioning than classic physique or bodybuilding. So I think most natural men's physique guys can always continue to get more conditioned. Just because if you're going to get as conditioned, like you don't need to be as conditioned as a classic or bodybuilding competitor. But if you can, then you're going to be very conditioned for men's physique. It doesn't have to get to that point, but I always think that you can always go a little bit more. Like you can always be a little bit leaner. You can always be a little bit more conditioned.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like nowadays guys are getting extremely peeled for the stage. And that's something like I take extreme pride in as well. And I think like that's one of my strong points.
100%.
So that's something that I try to bring to the table because I know I'm not going to be the biggest guy on stage. There's just other guys genetically that are going to be bigger than I am, but
Mhm.
I know that's something that's always going to be in my control. And if I can do it through cardio and dieting, that's what I'll do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely, I believe that conditioning definitely comes over size, when it comes to men's physique. But would you say that there's ever like a limit where judges would start docking points just because you're so lean?
I was actually going to ask the same thing.
I
Is there
would
a thing with
say,
conditioning?
I would say if you can't, if you don't peak properly and you don't bring that fullness and you go out on stage and you're super conditioned and dry, but you're flat, you're not going to do very well. But if you come in super peeled and you fill out, you should look pretty good for men's physique as a natural.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And as you said, it's one of those things that's in our control because it's like, yeah, structure can't change it. The genetics, we can't alter that. What our moms gave us. So it's like, what's in our control and what variables can we manipulate to bring that conditioning? And Don, you're someone whose conditioning is just like, I was surprised by, I think you posted a story. I don't know if it was like 8 or 9 weeks out or even 10 weeks out from the Natural Pro Qualifier. And I was like, what am I looking at? This guy's already so peeled at 10 weeks out, keeping us all on our toes, man. So I was like, yeah, that was insane.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to make sure this was going to be like, I mean, this was my third time doing Natural Canada. The last time I did Natural Canada, I got first in my class and then didn't win the overall. So for me, like I have like I'm putting all my eggs in one basket. I'm trying to bring the best package possible. So that means like making sure I'm ready early enough where, if I do need a little bit more time to get a little bit more peeled, a little bit more conditioned, then I have the time on my side. But yeah, being like 8 to 10 weeks out, I wanted to make sure I was kind of, you know, a little bit in the lead with my conditioning and not trying to play catch up later down the road. And I also want to give myself enough time to test out certain protocols.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's why I always take a lot of pride in my conditioning. I like to start my preps out generally about 16 weeks out. And that gives me enough time to get stage lean. I know for some other competitors, they might need 20 weeks. I've done shows where I've prepped in 8 weeks and have won them. So I kind of know how long it takes my body to get stage lean. So if I give myself 16 weeks, it's generally enough time to bring a package that I'm really proud of.
I love that, man. Yeah, because it's as you said, with you you give yourself enough time to test certain protocols and you have a ton of experience from competing in different shows. So through all gathering all that data, you know your body, you know how things work, you're obviously very knowledgeable. But would you say on the topic of conditioning, what holds a lot of people back from bringing that conditioning is they rush preps and they come from peak off season and hope to do a show in like 10 to 12 weeks, starting at a very high body fat percentage? Or what are some of the factors you would say holds natural men's physique athletes back from bringing that conditioning to the stage?
That's a good question. I think it'd be a few different things. Number one, probably not giving themselves enough time. Like I think everybody, like the standard is like 16 weeks, and I
Yeah.
think most people think, oh, as long as I have 16 weeks, that's going to be enough time. But you really got to look at how much body fat you need to strip off your body. General rule of thumb for myself and my clients is, losing anywhere from 0.5 to 1% of their body weight per week. So if they were, losing 1 pound per week, that only gives them like 16 weeks to lose 16 pounds. So they have to ask themselves, like, do I have more than 16 pounds to lose or less? Um, so giving themselves enough time is probably the main one. Number two, probably just not digging hard enough. I think a lot of people are afraid of losing muscle,
Yeah.
and they're afraid if they cut too fast or they do too much cardio or they're not eating enough food that they're going to be losing muscle at an exponential rate, which I don't think is true. I think as long as you're getting a sufficient amount of protein, you're training hard, and you're taking in a decent amount of food, you should be perfectly fine. And the more body fat that you have, I think honestly, like the less you would have to eat because your body can still function off the fat stores that it has for energy.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, just not digging hard enough. And third, in terms of conditioning, just maybe not pushing themselves as hard as they think they could go.
Mm,
I think
mm,
there's levels to it, and maybe a lot of them are self-coaching and they haven't, gotten their physique to the point. Um, if we're talking like national level, pro qualifier level, haven't gotten their physique condition to like what all the best are at. That can hold them back too. I think if you work with a coach that has a lot of experience working with national level athletes, like they're gonna have that standard, and then they're gonna try and do everything they can to get you to that level. But if you're self-coaching and you don't have that experience yet, it might take you a few shows to get there.
mm.
Yeah.
Well,
Honestly, man, I'm so happy that you mentioned that athletes don't dig hard enough because I think that is honestly so common. And the fact that you also mentioned that people are just scared to lose muscle, they think they're just going to start
Hmm.
losing muscle at an exponential rate when really that's just not the case. And I think a lot of it actually comes down to, people see these social media gurus or online coaches saying that it's unhealthy to get to this calorie intake. So when people get
Yeah.
to, like a 1,500 calorie intake, they automatically think this is unhealthy. They shouldn't be doing this. They're going to lose so much muscle so quickly. But at the end of the day, this is bodybuilding. This isn't just
Hmm.
losing fat for a lifestyle. This is like a next level thing, and it requires to take those extreme um, measures and kind of dig harder than you would in a regular diet just to lose body fat.
You said
Yeah,
it.
bodybuilding is an extreme, and it's like a temporary sacrifice to get you to a specific result for a very short period of time.
Mhm.
Exactly. It's not meant to be sustainable.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, because it doesn't last forever. We don't hold that conditioning year round or anything, as you said. It's like so it's not meant to be sustainable. Now, there are definitely ways you can do it in a more sustainable fashion versus, being too assertive or too aggressive right off the bat and ignoring certain
Hmm.
variables. But I do agree with you. It's an extreme sport for bringing a certain look by a certain deadline throughout us with a given timeline to present that package on stage, which is really, really cool. But just overall, man, the natural bodybuilding scene is growing and men's physique too is just insanely, it's taking off. And I think it's also becoming a lot more, when I say mainstream, I say this in a good way, because I think men's physique is a division where it attracts more people. I'm talking about the men's side, attracts more men into the division or into the sport of bodybuilding more than any other division, in my personal opinion. Is that something you two would agree with? And I say that because the look is more attainable than, seeing like a huge open guy or a classic guy, which is great. But I feel like when you show that physique online, more and more people will be like, oh yeah, I could be inclined to do a men's physique show.
Yeah. I also think it's just a really good entry level division to go into because after that, you can always move up to classic physique or open bodybuilding. Whereas if you started at open bodybuilding, it's less likely you're going to go down into a men's physique category with that if you have that muscle mass. So it's just a good entry level for most people entering that want to get into bodybuilding to start with.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, I'd echo the exact same thing as Luke. Like, it's more of an entry level division. Not saying that it's easy, but to attain a men's physique is easier than attaining like the classic physique structure and shape and size or bodybuilding.
Yeah. Yeah. Bring more people to the board. So how do we grow the natural men's physique division? Like, what do you think are the current limitations that we have, and how do you see us growing this, expanding our reach and our audience as an entire division to, grow the sport, raise more awareness, and have more people compete, have more shows in your eyes, Don? What do you think are some measures that people can take and we can take as a community collectively?
Well, I think this year there was a good uh transition, I guess, just with adding another natural pro qualifier show for Canadians.
Mm.
Um, since well, like even last year, our only real options were to do the Natural Canada Pro Qualifier, and then if you, I think, place top five.
Those five or
I
three.
think
I'm not.
it's top five. You could go and do the Ben Weeder show, but that is in Virginia, so it's quite far away, especially where I live. The Ben Weeder used to be in Montreal, but then they ended up moving it down to Virginia. So
I
it
didn't
kind
know
of
that.
took one show away from us. But then this year they added the Extreme Natural Pro Qualifier, which is also on the West Coast. So it's nice for people that live on this side of the country to be able to do this show. Um, because, we would have like one show each year that we could do, and that was all the way in Toronto. And when you're taking into account like people have to pay for accommodations, flights, everything else that comes with competing, even taking time off work, the time zone difference, like 3 hour time zone difference, it makes it not as desirable. Whereas if they have a show over on this side of the country, like it makes it a lot more affordable for people to do it. And there is a lot of natural men's physique competitors here in BC. The
Mm.
Van City Showdown, which is actually happening this weekend. there's always a big turnout for the natural show. I think the natural show is actually bigger than the open show.
Oh, wow.
So in order to continue growing the natural men's physique division here in Canada, continue to have more natural shows. If they could add in another pro qualifier, that'd be awesome. Um, and yeah, just I think in general, just like doing more stuff like this, like having more podcasts and YouTube channels and just people in general that want to talk more men's physique to just yeah, just you know, talk more about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, being a Canadian and being a natural competitor, I think we need more pro shows or pro qualifying shows for naturals because to think that only two individuals will turn pro naturally every single year is
Hmm.
ridiculous. Only two in the entire country. So it's honestly, it almost makes more sense for us to even travel to the States and because they have
Yeah.
countless natural pro qualifiers there, whereas we only have two. I think that's actually
That's a good point. Like up until this year, there was only one opportunity
right.
One.
each year. And it's extremely hard. Like, why are they not giving out two open men's physique pro cards at Natural Canada? There's
Yeah,
you have like anywhere from 14 to 16 guys per class.
literally.
And I know down in the States, like for example, if you compete at NPC Universe, there might be anywhere from 10 to 20 guys per class, and they're giving out two pro cards for each class.
Yeah,
Yep.
First and second
Super
place will
fast.
get it.
I was gonna say
Even
two
about like
cards
candy.
per class. Sorry,
Yeah,
Yeah,
why can't we
it's a
just get at
dream.
least two?
we have two
And
shows and we
and
can't even be doing that.
at Canadian Nationals and Toronto pro qualifier, they'll give out two pro cards for the open class and one Masters pro card.
Why do you think that is?
Yeah,
I don't know. That's kind of
Sure.
what I've been wondering. I believe like the Natural Canada is an even bigger show than the Canadian National show.
Hmm.
So why are they not giving out two pro cards for the open division or the
I
open
also think,
class?
yeah, I also think that would incentivize more people to go.
absolutely.
Because now it's like there's giving out two pro cards per class. Because sometimes it's like people who've run it back a ton and a ton and a ton. It's like you have that one opportunity to get your pro card within the whole year. And that show is
Hmm.
stacked. It is
Yeah.
absolutely stacked. So if someone's gone again and again and again, they may still love competing, they may still love to step on stage, but subconsciously or consciously they may be disincentivized to compete again because they've run it back and each and every year it's just stacked, stacked, stacked. So they're like, why should I compete? I always end up coming in either the first call outs or I don't make it to the overall or I come second in my class. But if they hear that, okay, I can continuously improve and they're giving out two pro cards per class, not only does that grow the division as a whole because you have more
Hmm.
people participating, but it also incentivizes the athletes to take part in the show again. So more athletes, I mean. So I think that's definitely a good move from the business front of things. I personally agree with that too.
And not only that, but if they're also giving more pro cards out at these two shows, then they can easily add another pro show for naturals to
Yeah.
compete in Canada because now we have enough pros to actually compete in it rather than how many pro natural
Uh,
shows do we even have in Canada right now? Like two, three?
For natural, yeah, it's
men's physique
I can think
we probably have
under 10.
yeah, like even at Natural Canada Pro Qualifier, like not all of those are Canadian athletes. They're
Oh,
coming in from all over the world. It's an international pro qualifier. Um, and I think at the pro shows, if it is a pro show, like I know the Extreme Natural Pro Qualifier will also have a pro show the following day. Um, you can just be a natural pro from anywhere in the world to compete in it.
well, they kind of have
uh,
to do that, or else if it's just Canadians, how's there even a show.
Yeah, it
Exactly.
wouldn't be
So the
worth it.
pro qualifier is just Canadians, but like the pro show is open internationally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. And yeah, that makes a ton of sense. Because this was the first year that the pro qualifier, the Toronto pro qualifier, was international too. I saw some international athletes as well. Someone came from, I think he was from Morocco or something. And I was like, oh, interesting. Or Algeria, something like
Hmm.
that. He competed in the UK a week before, and then he came to Canada to get his pro card. And I was like, oh, wow, nice. Interesting seeing you here, dude. So yeah, there were a few international athletes across all divisions who competed this year as well.
Which, I mean, I'm like, why are you making it international when the show was already massive?
That's what I was saying
Um,
too.
and you're taking away more opportunities for Canadians to get their pro card. Plus, the addition of Fit Model just made the show even longer.
Oh man.
So that didn't really make sense to me, but it is a business at the end of the day. So if they saw value or return on their investment by making it open to international athletes, like I mean, that's up to them.
True, true. And speaking on that, what I want to hear your thoughts regarding that show because you've obviously competed in it. So we'd love to hear your thoughts about what you've seen from, the years you've competed then till now in terms of the standard. And then we'd love to just like go through some
Hmm.
of the athletes who competed and just hear a recap on the show and what your thoughts were. So I guess my first question is, how many nationals have you done?
Yeah, that was my third pro qualifier I've ever done.
Okay,
I would say that was probably the most competitive pro qualifier show. I think
right.
it's just getting more and more competitive every single year.
Yeah.
Um, and I would say since 2019, just in general, like everybody has like improved their posing. Guys are coming in more conditioned, guys are coming in with more size. Um, so I think, yeah, this year was the most competitive year that I've competed at Natural Canada. Um, and I think overall, yeah, just really, really, solid competitors. People were bringing in like there was a lot of different physiques. There are some guys that are like very muscular, some guys that were really conditioned, some guys that have great posing. I think just in general, like lots of good competitors.
On all fronts. And yeah, Luke, why don't we share screen and go through
Yeah.
some of this if you're down? I'd love to talk about that. Is there an athlete that stood out to you the most, Don?
I'd say going into the show, I was also gonna ask you, who did you think was like who was your biggest threat?
Like me personally?
Yeah, you personally.
Chitty, man.
It's
Yeah,
like a little
yeah,
rivalry
and
going with him.
he's somebody that I definitely
Okay.
had my eye on for the past year. I took a break in 2024, and I know that he did really well at the show. I know that in 2024 he didn't bring the best conditioning, and me knowing that, that's why I continue to, make sure like I was gonna be the most conditioned guy at the show because that's something like I was gonna be able to potentially beat him with. And yeah, you just see him over the past year, like, he's training extremely hard. If you've ever seen him train, like the guy's deadlifting 5 plates for reps.
Savage.
Yeah, yeah, and like since he first did Natural Canada back in 2023, um, huge difference. He went from placing, I think maybe second call outs, then to getting first place in 2023, and then this year he ended up winning the pro card. But I would say like Chitty was like probably the biggest threat going into the pro qualifier. But then I also got my eyes on you, a guy that extremely small waist, nice V taper, great conditioning, really, really strong posing. And like you did great at uh 2024 Naturals and then also winning summer shredding. So, you're somebody else that I had my eye on. And yeah, I think there's a few other guys that I was keeping my eye on as well. Like I think Antoine,
And
guy super peeled,
Yep.
super conditioned, really full in his chest and shoulders. And this is his first year competing too, which
Yeah.
is insane because typically you don't see guys do that well in their rookie year.
I
And
know
I think one thing that really helped him is just having a good coach.
Mhm.
that too.
Coaching, that's where you can see like coaching makes a big difference.
100%. And Luke, I think we should pull up a picture of Antoine. I'll show you where if we go back. So he's wearing purple board shorts and
Right there.
yeah,
Yeah.
there we go.
Yeah.
If you saw this midsection, man, and the fullness lights out. I was just like, what? Well deserved,
So it's
man. Well
crazy
deserved.
that this is his first ever year of competing.
Yeah,
Hmm.
So I think we've all competed against him now because the week prior, his first ever show was Barry, and
Was
that's
Barry.
where he beat me in the overall. Um, but he's just next level, not just conditioned, but he's when I saw him in Barry in person, that was the most dry I've ever seen a natural athlete in my entire life. I don't even
Hmm.
understand how he got to that, but for his
Yeah,
first,
and
yeah.
we actually took a photo together, and he was more conditioned than I was. So
that's
I
ridiculous.
know just like how conditioned I usually get, but then for him to be more conditioned than I was like, man, hats off to you. Like you came in ready.
Extremely, extremely. Because yeah, if like there's like what we call Don Lamb conditioning, which is, dude, you're peeled. So like for someone to be like leaner, I'm like, is your body fat settling point extremely low? Like obviously, multiple factors, great coach, hardworking guy, of course, but it's like it's just insane. It's just insane to see this level of conditioning. So what a year. First year he won the overall at Barry, won his
Yeah.
class at nationals and then made it to the overall, like in his first year. That's
Hmm.
impressive.
He's got an
Yeah.
insane midsection, and he's actually his structure, his overall taper is on point too. So he's gonna turn pro one day for sure. He
I
looks
would say the only thing that Antoine would probably have to work on this off season is just bringing up his lower body to match his upper body. Just having a little bit more balance top to bottom, and he's gonna be unbeatable.
Yeah, I agree. I
yeah,
agree. That conditioning, man, is it's
very
nasty. It's nasty. It's honestly nasty.
Yeah.
Um, and if we go, let's see the overall comparison where it was you, Don, Chitty. There we go to
this
the
one.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
we can zoom in a little.
That's an overall battle. Holy,
Yeah. Is there any way we could zoom
right?
in it?
Hit Command plus if you're on a Mac.
Would that be control plus if I'm not?
I think so.
Yeah.
Does it dilute the quality a little?
I think so.
Just
Maybe a bit. I mean,
I'll keep it at
resolution
that.
isn't really improving, but it like we can see it a little bit better.
look
Yeah.
at that. This is the overall men's physique for the natural pro qualifier. Damn. Just all like the structures and the physiques, it's like it's so different,
Hmm.
but you can see why everyone is there. Like everyone who's in this overall deserves to be there.
For sure.
And you can see why. Because even though the physiques are so different, you can see why that this was the overall.
Yeah,
Insane.
I think we all have different physiques. Like it's not like apples to apples comparison. But I think Chitty wins this because of his overall muscularity, his size, his structure. He also brought really good conditioning.
He
And
did.
I was shocked to see his peaking protocol that his coach posted because it's something that is one of a kind. Like it's very unorthodox. I've never seen a peaking protocol like that in my life. I don't know if you saw his peaking protocol,
But what
I
I
think
but
I did.
saw, I saw the vodka shots. I don't know if
he
that
was taking vodka shots all morning. I think he ended up taking like 8 shots.
Yeah.
I was even standing up here. That's crazy.
Yeah, and his body honestly took it really well. I think for him, size was not something he was worried about, and it was just making sure he came in as conditioned as possible, as dry as possible. So the vodka shots definitely helped with pulling water out, and yeah, like he actually impressed me with his conditioning after seeing what he brought in uh 2023 and 2024.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's just an overall
Much.
dense dude. So, I mean, in this lineup, size definitely wasn't the issue, but looking at all you guys is like your conditioning, that's definitely the one thing that would have separated him from you guys. So maybe the vodka shots were definitely a right call in this situation, just to get him to your guys' level of conditioning. But he looks insane.
He
Yeah.
does. Because yeah, Don, you were the runner-up, right?
So with an overall battle, you know, you'll hear some guys say like, I got second in overall. Truthfully, if you're in the overall and you don't win the overall, no one knows where you place. Like
There's
we
no,
only know where like how the winner does.
yeah,
So I tried to like I try to not take participate in those sort of conversations because I don't know. You know, Antoine could have been like the runner up, right? Or even Felix, the guy in A class, he could have been the runner up. Like we don't know. So whenever I kind of hear that conversation go on about I got second in overall, I'm just like, there's no such thing. But I would say, you know, between like myself and Antoine, it's it's pretty close. Antoine did have better conditioning than me, and I will admit to that. So that's all I can really speak to.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you, brother. And I guess from someone like Luke, who's looking at this photo, like when you see all these physiques, Luke, what do you see as, the differences between the athletes? Like um strengths, weaknesses, what's separated them?
well, first of all, immediately my eyes go to Chitty just because he's so big. It's hard not for your eyes to go to him right away. But Dawn, honestly, I'd say you have the best structure. I really like your shape in this lineup. Even the guy to the right of you, this guy, I'm a really big
Those
fan of his shape.
clavicles, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
all
got wide
waist.
clavicles.
Yeah. And I think Antoine's definitely the most conditioned here. But when it
Hmm.
comes to overall size and fullness, conditioning, everything, I mean, it's hard not to give it to Chitty, clearly.
Mhm.
Yeah,
But I think you have the best structure on this stage, the best shape over
right. Yeah.
Right.
and balance too. Your legs look good, man.
Yeah, like for myself, I don't like to, really, say like being sick was one of the factors that held me back. But truthfully, getting sick like 1 week before the show, where I lost my sense of taste, my body would not fill out. Like it definitely did hold me back, so I wasn't at 100%. But I tell everybody this, even if I was at 100%. I was still wasn't beating Chitty.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And the thing is, I get that because you're not one to like, point fingers and make excuses. That's just not you. But I vividly remember speaking to you backstage and you were yeah, you could tell
Like
you were
no voice.
no voice, like your eyes were red, like you looked tired, and it was just like you're like crackling. So that
Yeah.
makes a huge impact on the overall look and the fatigue that we're carrying, and water, and our immune system is compromised. So the fact that you did that sick is still impressive, man. Made it to the overall bringing this package despite
Yeah.
being sick.
That's
Still
dedication.
so impressive, man. So what is it you think you need to work on, Don, to get your pro card? What's that, do you think?
Honestly, probably taking a proper off season. In all my years of competing, I truly only um, I I would say like take my training seriously when I'm starting to prep for a show. So
Mm.
that would include like time to like do a cleanup phase and then transition into competition season. In my off season, I typically am not training at 4 to 5 days a week, or even like where my nutrition is completely dialed in. So taking a serious off season, making sure that and also a proper reverse diet. That's something that for myself I've always kind of struggled with. Life gets super busy and often, just not being as disciplined coming off a show and, maintaining your body composition as best you can and doing it at the right rate. So having like a proper reverse diet, which is kind of too late now. But then a good solid off season to just bring up some more size. I think for me, a little bit more lower lats, some more fullness in the chest would kind of be the main things that I need to work on. Um, you know, in terms of like conditioning, that's something that I'm always going to be able to bring. Uh, Having a good midsection. I've really tried to prioritize shoulders
You
over the
can
past
tell.
couple of years. So I think now that I did prioritize them for a few years, I can kind of change what I need to make as my main focus and just continue building up my back, like just making sure that I'm training it hard enough. It's getting more dense, it's getting more wide, because yeah, my waist is not going to get any smaller from where it's at now. So all I can really do is just add on more tissue to my frame to give me the illusion of looking um, wider.
Mm. Yeah, just manipulate it. Just accentuate the physique based off of how you add onto it, like the tissue you gain,
Yeah.
right? Give that illusion, right? Yeah, the wide delts and lats. But you can even just see how peeled you are just looking at that photo from your midsection.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
have
I
it's
would
what's next level.
I would also say a lot of men's physique guys don't get makeup done for the show. I actually got makeup done for this show, and I do for most of my shows. And the makeup that was done for this show was actually not very good. Um,
really
the one tip I would give guys with their makeup is to make sure that it still looks natural and not overly done. Because in this show, I think the makeup artist went a little bit too far, and it kind of gave me this they call them Squidwards, right?
Squidward. Oh, I've never heard that, but from SpongeBob.
Where it's just a little bit too much. It's
Ah,
almost like overdone. It needs to look more natural. And if you have more of that natural look, it will actually look better on stage.
Was
the
this
overall
your
package.
Yeah, was this your first time with that kind of experience with the makeup, or like were your other times good?
My other times have been good, and I've always kind of told them to not like do anything drastic. This time I didn't really speak up about it. I just kind of like let the makeup artist do their thing.
Yeah.
And just I think too much was added, and I was not happy with how my face looked. So I'm actually not stoked with how my photos look either. But it's just
Mm.
one tip I want to give men's physique athletes out there. Like I would recommend getting makeup done over spraying your face because if you have any imperfections with your skin, like the tan will not um it will not attach to your skin very well. Like you'll see blotchiness, and that's where like makeup will have a better look than spraying your face, and it also just doesn't like look as dirty. And then just make sure your makeup artist doesn't go overboard with applying makeup. Like make sure you still have a very natural look.
Yeah, so they don't cake you up too much.
Yeah.
So it like blends into it's there's not a huge discrepancy between what your how your body looks and how your face looks.
Yeah, like try to get the skin tones as close as you can without adding too much, I don't know, like eye makeup and all the unnecessary things that you kind of don't need as a male competitor.
Makes a ton of sense because I know Luke did that for summer shredding. I've never tried the men's makeup before, but
Really?
Luke, I believe that was your first time doing it at summer shredding, or had you
So
done it
I've
before?
I've done the men's makeup at every show they offer it, just because.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Not every show offers it though, but whenever they do offer it, I make sure to get it. But I've definitely had a bad experience, just like what you're saying, Don, with men's
Yeah.
makeup. And I didn't know if maybe it was like a CPA thing because every time I've gotten it with summer shredding, I feel like the team there always gets it on
Hmm.
point. It looks really good. But I can't remember. I think it was either my last year's show in Hamilton that I did, or the Barry show this year. It was just too much. It put on too
Yeah.
much, and it's kind of it. It looks weird. It doesn't look good.
It looks so weird and it already looks weird when guys put makeup on and if it doesn't look good on stage then it probably does look very weird.
Yeah.
And I will say that some tanning slash makeup companies, do a better job. This is the first time. Actually, that's not true. Like this is my second time having this company do my makeup, but it just happened to be this time. I think I just need to make sure that I'm voicing what I actually want and not just leaving it in the hands of a makeup artist.
Totally hear you, yeah.
And most of the
No,
time it'll look good. It'll make the photos look good afterwards too.
Yeah.
interesting. You guys may be on something. I'm gonna have to try that.
Hey, you gotta hop on the trend.
There we go. There we go. I like that. Okay. So yeah, that's Don's feedback. Now, I guess I'm curious, Don, from this show, I consider you someone who has ton of experience, very credible in the industry, has the expert eye, has coached, numerous competitors to the stage, veteran. That's how I view you. And I guess seeing my package at the Canada Natural Pro Qualifier, what do you think I could have done to improve overall? Like what do you see here as some, flaws and things I could do to improve versus like strengths, I guess.
Well, I don't think that there's anything um that's like a huge weakness for you. I think overall, like you bring a solid package to the stage. Um, I think this was your best package to date,
Hmm.
correct?
The week after. But
The
yeah,
week
yeah.
after, actually, yeah, that you actually did look great at that summer training show as well. Um, like for you, a little bit more conditioning, a little bit more dryness and graininess, I think would really just help you pop even more. I think you bring a crazy V taper like that X frame, small waist, wide back. You've got the structure for men's physique, 100%. You got the posing down too, which is another huge strength of yours, stage presence. Um, when I'm just like looking at your physique, I'd say, bringing up a little bit more fullness in the chest, but
Maybe some
hard to
delts.
say. Like, I mean, like you would just basically like be forcing me to say something about your physique. But it's great all around. Like I wouldn't really say you have to work on too much. Um, maybe making your shoulders just a little bit larger than your arms, just so like you've got those nice cap delts to go along with a nice full chest, I think you're going to be unbeatable.
Thank you, man. I appreciate your kind words. It means a lot. Because yeah, I'm definitely always looking to improve, and hearing your kind words and your opinion means a lot. So I take it to heart because I know you know what to look for because you've been in the game for so long, and you're also someone I respect a ton. So hearing the feedback means a lot. And I think we're even talking, it's just even with like my peaking strategy, just
Hmm.
manipulating things like that because it almost looks like I wasn't as conditioned as I was, even though just the photos, the lighting also I was so flat. But leading up to the show, I was like, okay, like I'm on. But the reality was that of the situation is that I wasn't on at this show. I didn't have much food because we're playing like the conditioning game. I
Hmm.
didn't have much food. To be honest, this day I had what two meals and then like a few rice cakes here and there. So I was flat. And just like you, my chest is something that flattens out insanely quick. Like
Hmm.
insane. It's either a full house or it's flat as a pancake. So it's just manipulating things like that, testing that. And yeah, I think if anything too, just improving it's arguable, but I think more lats, a little bit more lats and delts for me, and then chest fullness. But yeah, I've backed off training legs a little bit now for spare some fatigue and stuff. But I appreciate
Hmm.
the constructive criticism and feedback, man. Means a ton.
Yeah, and it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Like we both know that you're gonna go pro sooner rather than later. So, just keep, staying at it and you're gonna be a pro in no time.
Oh, thank you, man. Means a lot. Means a lot. Yeah, that's the goal. I think that's what we're all chasing. Like even Luke, that's like the pinnacle of especially natural. Like that natty IFBB Pro card
Yeah.
is something that we're all after. Like
It's
YouTube, like
100%, man. Like ever since I got into competing, like that's kind of like stayed at the back of my mind for over a decade. And I think like that's why I still why I still work out. To be honest with you, it's just because like that is probably like the biggest fitness bucket list achievement that any competitor has if they're into competing. Getting their IFBB Pro card is extremely difficult. Um, but it's because it's so difficult, it makes it so um like so special to eventually get your pro card. And because it's hard, like we all want it more.
yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. It's like prestigious almost because it's so hard to come by, especially naturally.
Yeah.
It's like when things are harder to attain, if something is easily attainable for everyone, then it doesn't hold as much value. Right? But if it's something's like very hard to acquire and you do acquire, it's like, okay, wow, like I was able to get that, which I love. But I'm also curious. I'd love to give some shout outs to some other athletes in each of the divisions here, so we can see like some of the physiques. Um, like class, yeah,
Mhm.
just even like the top five in each class. If we could take a look at
Uh,
some of those.
so
Um,
this was class A, right?
yep, class
Yeah,
A.
so this is
Let's
class A, and
see.
so the other guy that got second, I think his name is Payam.
This one?
He goes by Gains Chaser on Instagram.
Yeah.
Um, I honestly thought it was pretty, you know, kind of a coin toss between one and two. I
Mm.
actually had Payam as number one, but yeah,
Is
Felix
Pam in the
ended
middle?
up.
Or who's
Pam
Pam?
is the one that got second. He's in the red shorts, and
This one?
he's actually done Natural Canada, I think, 3 or 4 years in a row. And last year he got first in his class. The
You
year
did, yeah.
before that, I think he got second. And he's kind
Wow.
of been kind of inching his way closer and closer to the top with each year. And I think he's also doing extreme natural pro qualifier here in 4.5 weeks. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that all goes down. But yeah, Pam, he looks phenomenal. He always brings like really, really good conditioning.
Delts.
Um,
Yeah, those
yeah,
delts.
just super dry. Yeah.
Insane. Yeah,
So
he
what do
has a
you think
great.
was the differentiator between him winning compared to him? It's hard to tell from this photo, obviously.
I kind of was wondering that too, and potentially Felix won from the back. I know he has a really strong back pose. I actually was chatting with him over DM, and he said that he was gonna take some time off to build up his front shot. I think from the front, Pam actually beats him.
Yeah, I would say.
Just a lot more muscularity. Like he's got like nice abs, really good obliques. I think Felix has a small waist,
Mhm.
but I think Pam actually wins from the front. But if we look at the back shot, I don't know if there's any photos of the back, but
Um, I think if we
possibly
click
Felix looks
that
better from the
photo,
back.
and then yeah, there we go.
No, I don't think so.
No?
What if you go to the NPC website and you click on, if you go to A class,
Oh yeah.
then
This will be
you could see
easier.
the back. Like click A class Felix and go to the back, his back shot. Oh, it doesn't actually
Uh,
show very
it's just this
well.
back shot.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, the
They don't do
comparison.
this back shot.
Yeah, that's strange. Usually they have one of each.
It's fine.
Front. Structure is insane though.
Yeah, it's got a really good structure.
It's got a good structure.
Yeah, clavicles are wide. It's this funny thing is with wide clavicles, it's like it's a pro and a con. The pro is that you have the structure, and if you have the muscularity on and you slap on the right muscle on that, it's like okay, insane. But then it's like when you have a really wide clavicles, now the chest, like filling in that and then making sure you have the
Hmm.
lats to go with that so you don't look narrow, the delts. So it's like it's a pro and it can be a con, like many other things. But he looks great.
Looks good.
Okay, so that was like class A, right? Shout out to these
Yeah,
lads.
those are the two guys that stood out to me.
Is
Now
this
this
master?
that's Masters. That's the Masters overall. Masters 35 overall.
Yeah, let's see.
Um,
This one?
I also did Masters just because I'm 35 now. I'm an old dog. Um, but yeah, Brian Hamilton, he ended up winning the Masters Pro card, and he's actually like 44, I believe, something
Almost
like
10 years
that.
older than you.
I think he's like 42 or 44, but the guy is extremely dense.
Oh
Like he's
yeah,
super dense.
weapon.
Yeah.
Even Sanjay looks good. Look at like
Sanjay
Sanjay
looks
health.
incredible too. I've seen Sanjay compete at his very first show. That was in 2023 BC Cup. And
What's his first show?
yeah, he hasn't been competing for that long,
Wow.
but he's super consistent. And last, or sorry, was it 2023 or 2022 was his first show? I've lost track already. But he hasn't been competing for that long, and I know he did Natural Canada in 2023 and didn't do as well as he expected, but this year definitely brought a really solid package. I think he's got, again, like really good men's physique structure,
Yes.
very symmetrical, nice blocky abs, strong conditioning, big cap delts.
Insane
Um,
depth,
Yeah.
man.
yeah, to be honest with you, I actually thought he brought a better physique than I did.
Mm.
So, yeah, the way I kind of had this judged was Brian Hamilton winning, and then Sanjay second, and me third.
Mm, mm.
You
I
can
hear you.
see like when we're comparing conditioning, like Sanjay is actually more conditioned than me. He just had more pop.
Right, right, right. I see what you mean.
Well,
Yeah,
Manini, didn't he compete in summer shredding too? The
he
next,
did.
He
or
did,
did he
yeah.
win?
He won Fit Physique. No, he
No, he
won
won
his
physique
class. The class that I was in.
in
I
fit physique.
Yeah, we were in the same class in Fit Physique. He
Uh,
beat me in Fit Physique, and I beat him in Men's Physique.
in the overall, because he beat me in my physique class, in the physique class.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. His delts are insane, man. Like I've never seen
Hmm.
delts this big on a natural competitor, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm serious. Like I've never seen delts this big on a
That's
natural
literally
competitor.
what the judges told me he beat me on is those delts.
Yeah. He's also going to be doing the Extreme Natural Pro Qualifier.
Oh yeah?
He will do, and I'm sure he's gonna bring an even tighter package.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting because I know for a lot of people, when they have to maintain conditioning for 12 to 16 weeks between their show, where they've had to like peak for a show and then now go into a little bit of time off before their next pro qualifier show, it's tough. Sometimes it works, but I think most of the time it actually doesn't go as well as they think, just because mentally it's extremely fatiguing to maintain condition like that. And then sometimes the body is a little bit less responsive or it wants to retain a little bit more water or your hormones are a little bit out of whack for being that lean for that long.
Very well said. Completely agree. It's like it starts to regress almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like it wants to get back to homeostasis. It's like, what is
Yep.
this? Like I've been out of whack for too long, and then protocols don't work like they used to, or
Hmm.
adherence starts to take a slip
Yeah.
psychologically.
And you're gonna tr have to, try and you feel like you have to do more cardio and eat less food to
Bro.
bring that same sort of conditioning. And it's just, yeah, it starts to become hard on your body.
It's true. It's true. That's the only difference with like shows that are very far apart. Um, but yeah, Don, looking at your class, aside from yourself, like I can say I definitely see why you won. Everyone looks great here, but like I think you have the best package and structure, even in terms of like your size, and your conditioning, everything here. But I'm curious to hear your thoughts as well, Luke, and then I'm also curious to hear Don's thoughts on like some of the other athletes as well.
So this dude came second, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, first of all, for sure, you're, I think, a ballpark away from these other competitors. It's clear that you won this class. And then it's clear that this guy came second. This guy looks really, really good too.
I know, eh?
Yeah, his
Hmm.
techniques are nuts. His structure is insane. He even has his arms are huge too. Damn. Um,
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, for me, like Liam Gordon, the guy that got second, uh, he was probably the only other person in the class that kind of stood out to me. Um, just in terms of like his conditioning, how small his waist is. Um, just overall look, I think, he looked great. And I was actually surprised because I follow him on Instagram now, and he's actually super strong. Like he was squatting 315 for like 20 reps.
What?
Yeah, and I was like, I'm shocked. You're only like, I think he told me he was like 150 pounds.
Wow.
And I'm
Like
like,
free weight
what? That's
barbell?
insane. Free weight barbell.
Like in
Damn.
prep.
Good ROM, good depth, everything.
Yeah, like he wasn't half repping it, like full reps, and I was super impressed because if like I was curious because if you're squatting 315 for 20 plus reps, like you gotta have a good set of wheels too. And I think he actually did classic physique in another show, but I think men's physique is kind of where his heart's at.
Yeah. He looks
I
younger
will say,
too.
oh, sorry.
Do you know how old he is?
He's young.
Yeah, that's impressive for
Yeah.
like if he's got a lot of time still, he's gonna do really well.
Yeah.
And I do have to say he's really good at manipulating like his
Yeah.
That waist manipulation is on point
Yeah.
with a lat
Yeah.
flare. Yeah, it's okay. That's really good. Class B. Okay. Go Class B.
There we go.
Oh, there we
Yeah,
go.
there I am.
Kitty, Class C is always the most
Okay,
stacked
this is a
every
super
show.
competitive class. All
My
these guys
God.
look
Yeah.
solid.
Facts. Everyone looks incredible here. Literally.
Yeah. All these guys were super solid. And just like even like solid human beings, like talking to a
Yes.
lot of these guys going into the show. Um, like we all knew Chitty was like the main guy that everybody was looking at. But yeah, Jamal also crazy physique.
Midsection.
Um, yeah, I think if we're talking conditioning, had better conditioning than Chitty.
Yeah.
I think where he kind of, I guess, lost to Chitty is just I think the structure and the width in the front shot. Chitty can really open up, and then just like with his, I think his right lat just having like a really good, you know, V taper. I think that's where he ended up beating Jamal, but I think Jamal still brought incredible package. Again, Sanjay, super solid, nice cap delts, great conditioning, overall awesome structure, nice blocky abs, very symmetrical. And this other guy that got fourth, I think he's actually from BC. He did the BC Cup.
Him?
Um, no, the guy that got fourth, so way
Oh,
over on the left.
This
there.
one.
Yeah, this guy, he did the BC Cup. He ended up winning overall
Oh, wow.
back in May. And he's got really, really good conditioning.
I can tell.
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
continue.
he's
Look
got
at his
solid
like
conditioning.
obliques.
Yeah. And then I think the guy on the far right, his name's Ed. Is that
Yeah, Ed.
right?
Eddie,
Ed,
yeah.
I think, if he, I'd have to look at some more photos, but I think if he works on his posing, and
He's
just,
huge.
takes this off season seriously, he's going to be a threat, in 2026. And, if he doesn't get it in 2026, then all the rest of the shows.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Absolutely stacked class. Like
Yes, it's
Class C is just usually Class C is usually the stacked at most shows because of
Yeah,
the height range, like the average male
exactly.
range too,
Mhm.
right? Yeah, which is very impressive. But yeah, congrats to all these guys, like insane physiques here. Mr. Chitty.
Mr. Chitty.
My gosh, class,
Well,
bro. This class, I'll tell you, there were 18 people in my class.
Yeah,
wow.
Class D, I've just never seen it this big. Like last year, I think
yeah.
we were like, even last year, we were like 9 or 8.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And then in 2024. And then this year, it was like 18 people in Class D. Like, I think some people saying it was the most stacked class
I feel
of
like there's still like a big
Yeah.
height range, because if you look at Antoine and you look at like Brian Hamilton, unless Antoine is just standing further back, but like Brian Hamilton looks like he's
6'2".
4 to 5 inches taller than Antoine.
Yeah, it's weird. I think it may be like posing knees bent.
Well, I
Because
feel like they should have an E class and not
mm,
just cap it at D.
Oh,
Like
there's
yeah,
only
why does bikini
four.
get all these extra classes, but men's physique only goes
facts.
to D?
Bikini has still F, I think.
Hmm.
So they have, yeah, A, B, C, D, E, F. They have two extra classes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, that's another thing that I was actually kind of curious about with the Natural Canada show is why is there only four men's physique classes, and for some of the other divisions, like they go more than four classes
Yeah,
and there's like
especially you said there
five or
was
six or seven.
18 in this class.
Those what, sorry?
There's only eight. There was 18 of you in this class, you said?
18 of us,
Yeah.
man. And
I
this
don't
is
know.
first call out.
Yeah, there should be another class.
We had
There
two
is a
call
height
outs.
difference for sure. I don't think Antoine's, I mean, even compared to you, not that tall.
Hmm. Hmm.
I don't know. If I could guess, I guess he's like 5'10".
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know because they always weigh me off at shows. Like I'm on the cusp of 6'1". I'm just under 6'1", but they always weigh me in at 5'11". Water, things like that. Sometimes I've got 5'10", and I was like, okay, that's off, but we'll take it. So
No,
yeah,
this is
but yeah,
most
this,
that class.
I don't know. What do you guys see? Like Victor looks insane, man. I think Victor came
One's-
fifth. Like, look at his delts, man. The Superman on the extreme right, like the Superman pose
Hmm.
on him is just phenomenal. Like that is his pose. That is his
Yeah.
pose. He
No, I
owns that.
think Vic looks great. I think for him, the one thing to continue working on is just continue to bring like more conditioning.
Right.
Um, Even the guy that got third,
Cash,
Fair.
yeah, I have actually watched this guy compete since I think 2019.
another BC dude.
Yeah, he's been competing for a long time. The very first time I saw him compete, I was like very impressed.
He
He's
looks
just
incredible.
got really nice lines.
He does.
Yeah, great, just a great physique in general. No freak factors to him. Um,
Polished.
Very, very like nice structure, nice frame. Um, yeah, I think overall like a really, really good lineup. Um, yeah, Brian Hamilton getting fourth. And
Yeah.
I just think about it, like if Brian Hamilton gets fourth and then like he wins the Masters Pro card, I'm like, like there's like another level that I even got to get to, right?
Mhm.
Because Brian Hamilton gets the Masters Pro card over myself and Sanjay, but then he gets fourth in the D class. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
Right. I know it's crazy how it works, eh?
Hmm.
It's like, yeah, but like, as I said, he's dense guy, just insane, man. He's like, I think he's dense, grainy. He has size. Like, he's just a freak factor to him.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
honestly, I don't think anyone's beating your structure. Like your lats to your waist ratio is
Yeah.
out of this world. I've honestly never seen anything like it. I think Antoine just won off of the conditioning. I think that's the only thing really that separated him from the rest here.
Antoine
Yeah.
definitely. His conditioning is lights out, man. Yeah, his conditioning is lights out conditioning. Yeah, my structure is my strength for sure. At least I know conditioning is something I can control, but one thing I know is like I'll never be the most conditioned guy on stage. Like even if I was to get hypothetically, let's say we took two people and we controlled for extraneous variables and we died to the exact same, you know, somehow metaphorical situation, hypothetical, and we were at the exact same body fat percentage. Like the looks would be so different. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
even if I
Hmm.
was technically more conditioned than someone, I don't think I will ever be the most conditioned guy on stage. But who knows? It depends on who shows up. But I think what
Yeah.
I should do is just, play to my strengths, which is yes, strive to be as conditioned as I possibly can be, but gotta bring the fullness and not be too conservative to the point now I start to shoot myself in the foot with one of my strengths, which is structure. So like that's the thing, but also just bring the fullness to that and just have good conditioning still. So,
Yeah.
but no, I appreciate that.
There's a difference between visual conditioning than actual body fat percentage because two people can be the same body fat percentage but look a
Yeah,
different level of leanness, right? So even more muscle at a higher body fat percentage
Hmm.
look leaner than lower body fat percentage with less muscle. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. But even
exactly.
bro, the next weekend after this, you did summer shredding. You looked way more conditioned in the Toronto summer shredding show than even here, only a
What
week.
was the difference in your weight from this show to summer shredding?
I can tell you right now. I have it pulled up right here. So this show, the Natural Canada Pro Qualifier, my so I have the date. Show day was August 3rd, right?
The second.
Second, so fifth. First. So I didn't weigh myself on second. It was August 2nd?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I'm looking at 2025 sheets. My 2024. Um, my bad. So weight tracker 25. Here we go. Okay, nationals. I weighed in at I have August 3rd. So I was 180. My lowest was 186. 186. Carved up, I was like 180, 89. 189.
Mm-hmm.
188, 89. Then summer shredding. The next week, I was August. Yeah, I was also 180, 188.
Carved up or
Lowest?
like going into
Carved up
show.
going into show.
So you were the same weight.
Yeah, I was the exact same weight, but the peaking protocol is different.
Yeah, I think you had a lot less water in Toronto too. Yeah.
Weird. The math doesn't math, eh? I don't think I got more conditioned.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at my physique the day of, like fasted morning, I was like my coach thinks I looked better at the day before nationals.
Hmm.
But in terms of my package, the summer shredding package was better because I dried out more and we'd use a different
Yeah.
peaking protocol.
Yeah.
Yeah, gave me more food and I was drier. So it gave me the look that I was more conditioned because they were just 1 week apart.
Mm-hmm.
So just a different peak. But yeah, Antoine, man, lights out, brother. Just keep doing you, man. You look phenomenal.
Yeah, he's going to be a threat in 2026, and
He
I'm
is.
curious to see, who ends up doing the Natural Canada Pro Qualifier next year. Like for myself, I'm just gonna skip it completely and focus on the Extreme Natural Pro Qualifier just because it
Closer
gives
to
me a
home.
little bit more time in my off season and then also not having to travel to Toronto and just staying like a lot closer to this show.
Yeah.
True.
So are you talking about next year doing the Vancouver Extreme, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you only competed in CPA shows or have you done
I've
any
only done CPA.
really?
Before the CPA was actually the CBBF.
Interesting.
Yeah, so we used to actually have to compete in our province only. And then, so you would do like your regional show. And then from that level, you had to compete at the provincial level. So you would do what we call provincials, and you would compete against the best in BC. Then, if you get top five, you get to actually qualify for Canadian nationals.
Mm,
Wow.
Before, there was also the nationals for natural athletes as well. So those two were separate. So you have two opportunities to, I guess, go pro as a natural. But yeah, like it was actually even harder to go pro uh, when the CPA wasn't around, just because you had the Canadian National Show and I guess the Vancouver Pro Show eventually, unless that was a CP. I can't remember if there was a crossover, and then um, the Natural Canada Nationals.
mm.
I
Yeah.
actually didn't mind that system because by the time you got to the national level or the pro qualifier level, everybody was like had a very impressive physique. Like it was you knew you were like meant to be there. Whereas now you get top three in a show, in a regional show, you can step on
Yeah.
stage at a pro qualifier.
Yeah.
It's true. If realistically, and this isn't any disrespect to anyone, but if like you've come like top three, top because it's like third, it's like if you go
Yeah,
to nationals, you're not gonna place. Like
exactly. Like
it,
I would only consider going to a pro qualifier if I win my class or if I win the overall for a regional show.
yeah, yeah. And that's not to say because I get you're right. Do you think sometimes if someone came like second place though, they could improve their package if they were like second to the in the well, as you said, they're not second place in the overall, I guess. But if
Yeah.
someone came second in their class and they were very close to the winner, that they could make the improvements and then be like, you know what, I think I can take that person.
Yeah, I think there's some wiggle room there, but you have to be like very realistic
Yeah, that's the
with
thing.
where you stand. Um, because if it was like you got smoked by the guy that got first place in your class, then probably not.
Yeah, yeah. And this is now where it's like the genetics plays a factor at this level, man. Because this is
Hmm.
like the nationals, right? So it's like genetics plays a huge factor because the guys who are winning their classes there and placing top is like we got to be realistic. Like there's a yes, you can work hard, but there's also a genetic component. Freaks.
100%. Yeah.
Freaks.
Whether that's you, having the structure,
Yeah.
um, or even just like from an eating standpoint, like a metabolic standpoint,
Yes.
if you have to diet on extremely low amount of food to even get to the same conditioning that a guy that is blessed genetically that can diet down to single digit body fat on like 2000 calories, like that's
Yeah.
a huge difference. Like that's something like that I'm blessed with, a fast metabolism, so I don't have to grind down to, like the 1500, 1600 calorie range like some other competitors. Um, like that is another genetic component in this game.
Very well said. Because I think like my calories, some people for me this is low, but the lowest mine went in prep was this time 22 to 2400 range.
Hmm.
I was falling within that range. Last prep, they went as low as 2150, 2250. And to me,
Yeah.
that's like that's messed up. But to some people, it's like you get to diet off of that. That's like a bikini girl
That's like
stuff.
their off season.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Exactly. So it's different. And I know Luke is in like the 1450s or something like that.
I get as low as into the 1400s.
Yeah.
Yeah. How tall are you, Don?
I'm I'm around 5'7".
Okay, you got an inch on me. And how low do your calories get? What's the lowest you
I
can?
can get pretty lean like most of prep on 2100 calories. Now that doesn't mean that I'm not going to play with like lower calorie amounts to try to get a certain result. Like I'll do dig days every so often at the very end of like tail end of prep where I'll run something like 200 grams of protein, 100 grams of carbs, and 100 grams of fat,
Yeah.
or
Oh,
even 50 grams of fat. And I'll just run that for like 3 days in a row just to really deplete and get to a certain result that I'm looking for. But that's not like how most of my prep looks. Like that's just like a protocol to achieve a certain result. Um, but if you're looking at like the total prep, it does my calories typically don't drop lower than 2000 calories.
That's impressive.
interesting. So
Yeah.
you'd almost run like a protein sparing modified fast some days to that extent.
Yeah. Some days I'll go like high protein, low carb, high fat. And then sometimes I'll go, if I feel like I really need to dig, then it's going to be high protein, low carb, low fat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are
Yeah.
like the death days.
Yeah.
Really just get ahead of the game. Yeah, just
Those are the
dig and then
good days.
you have your refeeds and
Yeah.
stuff like that and high days and
And
outside.
even for myself, like I count veggies as like towards carbs. And a lot of
Yeah.
people, they
Hey,
don't track their veggies.
I don't
So
get
when
that.
I'm talking like 100 grams of carbs or 150 grams of carbs, like that includes all veggie
Yeah.
intake. So I'd say like because I'm filling up on so many veggies those days, out of 150 grams of carbs, like 60 grams of those carbs are coming strictly from vegetables.
It's funny you mention that because to us that would be common sense, but to a lot of
Yeah.
people they just don't think about tracking their veggies because they think
Yeah.
it's
They're like, it's free food.
yeah, exactly.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. It can add up to well over like 100, 150, depending on how much you're eating calories that you're not even accounting for. It
Especially if you're using it for the high volume aspect like we do.
Exactly. Like that's where it actually can work against you. Like I would understand in your off season if you're only eating 200 to 300 grams of veggies per day, then it's not a significant amount of your carbs. But if you're going like high volume, low calories, filling up on veggies for the majority of your meals, you got to take that into account because then if you don't, like, like you're actually eating more than you think you're eating.
It's true.
Yeah.
Dangerous place to be. Yeah. It's like, what's going on? Have I hit metabolic
Why
adaptation?
am I not losing weight?
Increase cardio a little bit, then it's just like
Yeah.
tracking inaccuracy, and it's like, oh man, okay. So that's definitely a huge thing. Just learning how to track macros properly or just adhere to a meal plan, whatever it is that is being provided.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, I couldn't agree more. It adds up, and it's just important to make sure that things are dialed in.
yeah,
Because especially if you want to compete at the high level, your variables need to be dialed in, right? So
Hmm.
that's the thing as well. So yeah, man. Yeah. But overall, this has been insane, man. I'm glad. I think we've covered a lot, and I think this is probably one of my favorite episodes to date.
for sure. Don, having you on here has definitely added a lot of value because there's a lot that even me and Munene probably have learned today just from you having so much
Fun.
experience. So yeah, I had a lot of fun this podcast. This was really good. Thanks for being
Yeah, I
here.
appreciate you guys having me. And yeah, it was a lot of fun just getting to talk men's physique with, other guys that are super passionate about it too. And, overall, I think if, we can continue just like having more conversations like this,
Oh,
the sport will continue to grow. And hopefully that just benefits all the athletes in Canada to whatever that looks like, if it's more pro cards or, what I did find very strange is at Natural Canada, they didn't give out any prizes,
Huh?
true. They just, yeah.
not a single prize.
Did they last
Not
year?
like a
The
goodie
Wolfpack
bag,
bag.
nothing.
Honestly, I don't know. Other than medals, I pretty sure nobody actually got any awards.
Yeah, just the pro card winners.
Do they not have sponsors though? Because usually
They
sponsors.
do have tons of sponsors, but I'm just blown away like with the amount of people that register for the show and compete in it.
Yeah.
Compared to like a regional show. I feel like some of the regional shows have more prizes than the biggest show in Canada.
Makes zero sense to me. Even like the athlete bags compared to some of the other shows, I was like, interesting. Stephanie
Hmm.
Worth, like, I don't know if have you heard of that one, Don? The Stephanie Wursful Classic?
Yeah, I have heard of it.
Is that the
Yeah.
Niagara one?
London, Ontario.
Yeah, London. Okay.
Man, the prizes and the like goodie bags, loot bags, whatever you want to call them, insane, man.
Yeah.
Insane. Like I just really like that show. Very well run.
It's such a
Hmm.
little aspect to
Toronto
the
Dutch,
show, but it actually makes such a better experience for the competitors. It's like, why not do that?
Hmm. I
little
agree.
things like that.
It's
Little things like
exciting
that.
to get a
Yeah,
bag.
who knows, Don? Maybe you'll have your own show, DIY Body Championship.
Yeah. Maybe if
We can't participate.
yeah, we'll see if we can make that happen.
Oh, that'll be awesome, man. But no, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on. We're gonna have you on again in the future.
Yeah.
Thank you for providing your insights, regarding the sport. Obviously, you're someone who's very passionate as well, and it's just super fun connecting with other people on this topic as a whole. I can tell that we all, we have a lot of passion for it, and we want to grow the division, especially the natural division, seeing as we're all natural competitors. So just onwards and upwards we go. But before we head out here, I have one last question for you, Don. Like, what's next for you, and in terms of like this? Obviously, you're still chasing your pro card, but what's
Hmm.
next as you had reached the point where you'll be competing again? Like, how are things going? How are you going to structure them? Like, what's next?
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna stop competing until I get my pro card.
No.
It's a goal that I've had forever, and I think like that's one of the benefits of being natural is that there's no side effects from performance enhancement drugs. And
Yeah.
at this level, because I have already seen a lot of success with it, it's just continuing to just fine tune and get a little bit better each and every year. So, it's what I do for work. This is my livelihood. I'm going to continue to compete until I actually achieve that goal, and I want to see it come through. I don't want to just give up this close to it. So just can continue to stay consistent and keep at it.
Love that.
Same thing, except it's not a if, it's a when. I
Yeah.
have that
Mhm.
full confidence for you as well that you're gonna get it, man.
Dude.
I know that too.
And also being natural, people don't realize our full potential isn't reached until like later on in our years. So you still got
Yeah,
plenty of time to add that growth. You're gonna get that progress someday for sure.
I know it,
yeah.
man. Wholeheartedly,
If
I know
it's
it.
not now, it's going to be in the Masters. So I've got
And that's
about 5 years to go there.
you got it, man. Look at guys like I don't know if you guys know Alberto Nunez, Jeff Alberts. Like,
Yeah.
look at those physiques, insane, and they're natural, like insane. So the
Mhm.
limits are high, and we just gotta keep doing our thing, growing the division, and just here we are, man. Just continue becoming our best
Oh
selves.
yeah.
So appreciate you a ton, lads. It's been awesome.
Awesome.
Can't wait for the next one too.
All right. Make sure
All
you
right.
like, subscribe the video. Go follow Don on Instagram. What is it?
Yes.
DIY Body?
Yeah, what's your tag?
Don Carter Fit, and then business is DIY Body.
Hell yeah. All right. We'll see
Perfect.
you in the
We'll
next
put that
podcast.
in the description too.
Yeah.
We'll link Don's details in case you want to contact him or anything like that. Awesome.
Yeah.
Perfect, guys.